Hey everyone, and welcome to a new video on Bite of Geek. Today I'm going to be taking a look at the Calex Smart Multicolour Mood Light. Let's get it unboxed. So I picked up the Smart Mood Light from a major UK supermarket whilst I was out doing my shopping, and it was retailing for £20 with a 20% off if you're a member of the kind of like shopper loyalty scheme. So yeah, a pretty good price, £16 for it. However, due to a pricing error on this and the policy of refunding you double the difference when they overcharge, I actually only paid £12 for this. And at the end of the video, I'll let you know whether I think it's worth £12 or whether it's worth £20. So basically, if you don't know what this is, it is basically a mood light. It's meant to sit you know, on a kind of like a bedside table or something like that, corner of a room. You know, it's not going to be any kind of desk light or something like that. It's not bright enough for that. If you've never heard of Calex before, well, you know, they're a Dutch brand. They have a number of devices on the market, you know, everything from kind of like GU10 bulbs to LED strips and things like that, and they are all really competitively priced and you know, a really good option for getting alternatives. And one of the really nice things about this, which I'll come to later on in the video, is really, you know, the whole setup process of this. So let's get it unboxed. Let's just see what you get inside the box for your money, and then I'll just take you through the setup process, and you can see what it's actually like. So inside the box you get the light unit itself, and it's not a massive unit. It is you know, quite a discreet thing, and then you get your USB-C power cable with it as well. No plug with this, so you're going to have to get your own plug. And you also get this little ring as well, which acts as the base for the light. Now, there is an issue with that, which I'll come to a little bit later in the video, but that's what you get in the box. You get some instructions as well, really quite straightforward, you know, to get this thing going. Now, on the back of the light, there really is, it's a minimalist design, really. You know, you've got the USB connector on the back, and you've also got the button which you use to switch on and to effectively, you know, start the pairing mode, really. So, you know, there's no kind of controls on this light other than that single button to turn it on. So everything else is controlled via the Calex app. So in terms of specification, well, it's a 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi network only, no 5 gigahertz at this price point. Tunable white, 3000 to 6500 K plus RGB, and has a color rendering index of 80. So you know, most people nowadays look for kind of like 1995. So 80 is not too bad. Given what the product is, I don't think that really matters a huge amount. You know, supposedly a 15,000 hour lifetime on this, so you know, potentially a long life if you've got this on a couple of hours a day. The setup process for it is really straightforward. It's like a lot of these smart devices. You are going to have to create an account with Calex to be able to get going with this, which is a little bit disappointing, but you know, the app is really straightforward. Once you're inside, you know, you've got one main page where you can go and add your device to it. You can actually see all the different devices that are in the range of products. Now, as I was going through this setup process, I thought, hang on a second, you know, this does actually look a little bit familiar, this. And it's something I didn't actually notice on the front of the box when I picked it up. This is actually, well, it's not on the front actually, it's actually on the side of the box, and I think that's a kind of like a huge downside or a disadvantage here, is that this will actually work with the Tuya Smart Life app as well. So you don't actually need the Calex app to get going with this. If you've already got Smart Life installed, this will work absolutely fine. And you know, I have managed to get this, you know, fully set up on my Smart Life app. So yeah, it's just recognized as a RGB light. Now, what I did notice when I was going through the Calex setup is that the design for the mood light is actually slightly different to the one I've got here. And when I went looking on their website, sure enough, there is a slightly different version of the mood light. So I suspect this is probably an older model of the mood light, and what they've actually come out with now is something which is a little bit shorter in its overall height. However, it's pretty much going to be the same kind of device. So I think, whichever one you end up picking up, it is actually a pretty decent light for the price. So once you've got it set up, in the app, you've got various functions. You can change your color that you want, and you can have different modes of how it changes those colors as well. So you can have your static colors, and then you can have almost kind of like scenes of colors as well. You can have your white, and you can change all the brightness and things like that. And you can obviously set up things like timers and automations, and you can have it basically interact with your smart devices, your Google, your Alexa, and your Siri. In use, I found it to be more than adequate. It is very much a mood light, a side light. It's not a reading light. It's not a kind of like a spotlight or something like that, or a desk light. It's just there to be something that's in the background that adds a little bit of accent to a room. I think this would be perfect in a child's room. As kind of like a bit of a side light for them to. Certainly, if you set scenes up, you could have the colours dim in brightness over a time period during the night, so that it helps them go to sleep and stuff like that. So obviously via the app you've got all things like automations and scenes and timers and voice control, all that kind of stuff. So it's pretty decent in terms of a smart light that you can add to your system. So it works with Alexa and Google, and it says Siri shortcut, so there's no HomeKit on this, but it covers most of the bases at this price. I think there's a couple of notable points from me on this in terms of the actual product itself. So the light itself, perfect as a mood light in what you get out of it. The casing feels okay. It's not the best quality product. Feels a little bit cheap, but then it's a fraction of the price of, say, the Philips Hue mood lights that you can get. The big thing for me though is that on the box there's actually kind of like a little diagram that indicates that you can kind of like rotate this thing around all different kind of positions, and I don't know whether the camera will actually pick that up, but that's what you've got there, and that's fine. However, when you plug the USB cable in the back, which obviously you need to do to power it, that severely restricts what you can actually do. So yes, you can turn it round on its horizontal axis, but as soon as you want to do anything major with regards to its vertical axis, then that is restricted by the cable. So a little bit disappointing from that perspective, but these types of things, you kind of like have them set up in a corner in a certain position, and that's it. Away you go. You don't tend to have them rotating around all over the place. So overall then, my thoughts, well, in terms of price, obviously it was retailing at £20. I got that quite a bit cheaper. I'm pretty certain this is a slightly older model. The newer one looks a little bit more attractive. I don't think this is really worth £20. So definitely if it's on offer, then pick one up. You can't argue with the functionality that you get with it, and you can't, the fact that you can hook it up onto to your Smart Life app as well is really good. So it's not something you're going to have yet another app installed on your mobile device in order to control it. But overall, it's a great little mood light. As long as you understand what it is and the fact that it's not some kind of spotlight, then I think you'll be perfectly pleased with it. So there you go, guys. That is my take on the Calex Smart Multicolour Mood Light. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Love to know what you think about it. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new here. But as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.